The last phase in the BDCA cycle for ISO 27001 is the ACT, which is represented by clause number 10 for continual improvement. In clause number 10, it consists of two clauses, non-conformities and corrective actions, and the continual improvement. What is the non-conformities, gentlemen? What is the definition of non-conformities? I think we explained this yesterday. What is the definition of non-conformity?
Yes, it is unachieving the requirements.
You are right. It's unachieved requirements. You are right. Then ISO 27001 requires to implement the following actions when there is a non-conformity occur. Number one, you have to define the non-conformity and check if there is any similar non-conformity in the organization. You have to define the consequences of these non-conformities in your company. You have to eliminate the cause of non-conformities. This is very important. If you have any problem, you have to search for the root cause. Don't try to solve the problem itself. Try to solve the problem cause. Implement the relevant actions or controls. And you have to monitor these controls to make sure of the effectiveness of these controls. And finally, you have to update the ISMS documents if necessary. Question: do you have in your mind an idea of any non-conformity? Any answer? Any non-conformity, gentlemen? We have some persons who are working in monitoring and measurement. We don't have any examples for non-conformities.
شكلك بتتكلم عليا قوي.
لا أنا بتكلم على وائل.
I have non-conformities, but not related to the security. This is the point. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, no problem.
Okay, and for example, we have a certain operation process into the organization, which is in place and operated, but there is no reference document or procedure documented for that.
Okay, then the requirements that you must have documentation for the process. But
yes,
in the real field, you found that there are no documents are created for this process.
Yes.
And what was the action or corrective action?
Create the process documents.
Okay, great. Another example for non-conformities. You know that usually organizations, they are buying the PCs and they keep it for maybe 3 years or 5 years with the employees. When after that, they are collecting these PCs and replace it with a new one for the employee, and they are selling these PCs for other entities. One of the non-conformities which is very popular, that the data it's not erased properly, or maybe not erased at all. When the documents stated that the data must be erased, but actually some organizations found that the data it's not erased, and anyone who will buy the notebook or the device, he will find that the data is stored on the hard disk, and this it will represent a non-compliance and non-conformity. This again one of the examples of non-conformities. Okay, clause 10.2, continual improvement. As we mentioned, there are a lot of changes in ISMS and in the ISO. In ISMS, as we mentioned in the previous session, that there are many factors we are changing as organization, internal, external factors affecting any organization, interested parties and their requirements, technology changes, standard changes. Before we had ISO 27001, 2005, now we have 2013. When we have a lot of changes, which it can produce new risks. When we have to keep an eye on all this information, and we have to study or make a continuous risk assessment to understand the new risks which came up, and to make sure that the discovered or the current risks are mitigated and controlled, and the risks are in the acceptable area of the management. How we can improve the ISMS? We can implement new tools, software or hardware, monitoring and measurement tools where we can collect the required data. We can implement awareness, and we can arrange this awareness for our internal and external interested parties. We have to implement new elements in the process of the improvement by, as we mentioned, using some new software, or maybe develop a website. Then we will allow the users and the employees to give their feedback regarding the ISMS processes and ideas how to update and improve the performance. This it can be in the form of email, it can be in form of website. We have to keep a responsible person to collect all this information and gather it together. We have to encourage the employee to have or to share in the continual improvement of the ISMS. We have to record all the relevant information and suggestions, and to provide these ideas to the management, and the management should review it during the management review process, and whatever any tasks which it will be suitable for improving the ISMS, it should be implemented, and it should have the required budget controls, budget resources, when it will improve the ISMS and the way of managing and securing the information. It was the ACT phase, which consists of the clause number 10 for continual improvement.